These are real-life stories written by viewers telling cautionary tales about their lives overseas. The first story comes from a man named Steve, a retiree from Las Vegas, who had dreams of living in Angeles City with his hard-earned money. This is his story. I worked for years in the casino industry, working every weekend, every holiday without missing a beat. I invested my money, as much as I could, in the stock market and gold. After 20 years, I wound up saving a good $495,000, enough to last me until I could officially retire. I looked around and heard stories of living like a king in the Philippines for $300 a month. Bloggers showed how they lived for less than $10 a day, and I was floored. With what I had saved up, I could live like a king and not have to worry about anything. For a month, I did my research: where to live, how much rent, food, and other costs would be per month. Even if I went crazy and did stupid things, my money would last me 25 years. I had nothing to worry about. I put my 2-week notice into the casino, and the boss instantly was mad at me and told me I was burning bridges by quitting on them. I didn't care. I was just thinking of the weekends off, holidays off, and quite generally, every day off for the rest of my life. While going through Instagram, I discovered a city called Angeles City, a former beacon of the U.S. military, where numerous expats lived. I figured a lot of Americans around would be good in case I needed help. This would be a decision I would regret. I sold my house, my car, all my belongings, and decided not to look back. I got on a plane, with only a dream, wing, and a prayer. My life was in God's hands now. I arrived in Manila and found my driver outside holding a sign with my name on it, and was off to Angeles City, about 2 hours north of Manila. The streets were hectic and more cars were on the road than should. The city smelled of burning diesel. But I didn't care. I was happy. I arrived at a local hotel, which was my downfall. Not because of any woman, but of what I saw and thought was a good idea. After a few days, I noticed a post on my Instagram stating that portions of the hotel were up for sale. The hotel looked nice, so I bid. I have money to invest, and this way I get money coming in and I don't have to spend my hard-earned savings. So I booked a meeting with the owner, Sam, a charismatic gentleman from England. He said that he was selling upwards of 50% of the hotel to a working partner. However, smaller portions were also available. $15,000 for 10%, for $70,000 for 50%. I had the money and wasn't worried about it. He said he would give me a certificate of ownership, stock certificates to show that it was legit, and truly, I was the owner of the hotel. I bid. After days of deliberating, drinking at a local bar, I added up the numbers. Over 5,000 rooms are occupied in the city, and at $25 a night, that adds up. The hotel had 130 rooms. That would be around $3,250 per day at 100%. Even at 50%, that would be around $1,600 a day. Minus expenses, it would mean around $400 a day, and I would make $200 a day. Adding it all up, I would have my money back in around 12 to 13 months. Then I could skate the rest of my life on the revenue. I had the meeting, transferred $70,000 to him, and within days I had a 50% ownership of a hotel, certificates and titles coming in. Then the income would start pouring in. What I didn't expect was this. About a month after the purchase, I started getting text messages from Sam, who told me that revenues weren't as expected and that I needed to come up with $900 to help pay the utilities and my share of the bills. I was gobsmacked as I noticed the hotel had a high occupancy rate. He told me that the utility bills were high that month, and since it was summer, the electric bill for the air conditioning would cause the electric bills to double. I would have to wait for the cooler months. The next month, I received the same notice. This time $1,200. Each month it was adding up. $1,500 for the month, for $100 for this, $800 for that. One month, I put in over $9,000 in repairs. I was getting fed up with it. I had a meeting with Sam and demanded to see the books as the hotel could not be running a deficit this bad. He refused to show the books. I decided to get a lawyer. What I found out shocked me. Not only was I 50% owner, but there were around 15 others that were 50% owners. 30 people were 10% owners and 5 were 5% owners. He had oversold the hotel by 700%. Not only that, he was billing each owner between $120 to $1,500 per month. This did not include the money he was making on the hotel rooms. Eventually, word got out to the investors and a lawsuit was brought up against Sam, but he disappeared, took all the money, and went on the lam. The shareholders of the hotel, through a lawyer, got together to find out the ownership and percentages each shareholder would get. We were not happy. Apparently, Sam did not own 1% of the hotel. He was leasing it from a local businessman. He paid rent on the hotel, paid the staff and utility, and kept the rest of the money. Each month, he was pocketing around $9,000 and then was scamming the investors out of over $50,000 per month. The lawyer told us all there was nothing we could do unless we found him. Sam fled the country. No one knows where he went to, but it was believed he scammed and took over $500,000 in cash with him and had over $2 million that he scammed from people over the years. I lost over $200,000 in this investment. A bitter pill to swallow, but I want people to know if you invest, do your due diligence, find a lawyer, ask around town about the credibility of the individual. Remember, don't believe everything you hear. In Angeles City, there are people with friends who will lie for them, fight for them, and others who want to destroy them at all costs. I lost almost half of my money. Today, I just sit at a local restaurant in the morning, eat a modest American breakfast, read the paper, and just invest in the stock market. I may not be rich, but one day I'll get my Social Security and stop using the rest of my money. Please, don't rush into a business. Research and don't trust anyone. You will be better off if you do.